Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to this video. I am so happy you're here. Today we're going to talk about something that I know is very important to you. Speaking English with confidence, even when you feel nervous. Maybe you have been learning English for a while, but every time you want to speak, you feel your heart beating faster. Maybe your hands feel a little shaky. Maybe your mind suddenly goes blank, and you can't remember the right words. If that sounds familiar, please don't worry. You are not alone. Every language learner feels this way at some point. Even people who speak several languages still feel nervous sometimes when they use a language that is not their mother tongue. Feeling nervous is very natural. It is part of the learning process. And the most important thing you can do is to give yourself permission to feel those feelings and keep going anyway. When you see someone who looks very fluent and very confident, it can seem like they have never been scared to speak. But that is not true. They also had times when they felt unsure. They also practiced many times. They also had to encourage themselves again and again. And if they can do that, you can do that too. This video is here to help you become one of those people. Today we will take small, gentle steps together. I will share with you simple, practical techniques you can use right away. I will also remind you of the most important thing, that making mistakes is okay. Mistakes help you grow. Mistakes help you improve. Mistakes are part of the path to becoming a confident speaker. As you listen, I want you to imagine me sitting right beside you. Imagine I am your friendly teacher or your kind friend. My voice is calm. My words are encouraging. And my only goal is to help you feel good about speaking English, no matter what level you are at. You do not need to speak perfectly. You do not need to know every word. You do not need to sound like a native speaker. You only need to do your best and enjoy the process. Confidence grows slowly. It grows each time you try, even if you only say one sentence. We will talk about different ideas and exercises in this video. Some will help you change the way you think about nervousness. Others will help you practice speaking a little more every day. And most importantly, we will repeat the most powerful message that you can do this. That is because learning English is a journey. Every learner's journey is different. Some days you will feel proud of yourself. Some days you will feel frustrated or tired. But every day you practice, you move forward, even if you don't feel it. Every small step matters. Every short practice matters. Every kind thought you have about yourself matters. And as you listen to this video, I want you to feel proud. Feel proud that you are trying. Feel proud that you care. Feel proud that you want to become a more confident speaker. That is already a big success. Before we begin the main part of this video, let me remind you one more thing. Learning to speak confidently is like learning to play a musical instrument or learning a new sport. It takes time, patience, and practice. It's okay to go slowly. It is okay to repeat the same things again and again. It is okay to take a deep breath and pause before you speak. And most of all, it's okay to simply enjoy the process. Even if you feel nervous today, that can change tomorrow. Even if you make many mistakes today, you will make fewer mistakes as you practice. Even if you feel like you cannot remember the right words today, you will find them more easily next time. So let's do this together. Let's go step by step. Let's practice one idea at a time. Let's encourage each other. By the end of this video, I hope you will feel more relaxed and more sure of yourself when you speak English. And remember, I believe in you. Understanding nervousness in language learning. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Good. Now let's talk honestly about why we feel nervous when we speak English. Understanding your feelings is the first big step toward becoming more confident. When you speak a new language, it is very common to feel a bit scared. Why? Because when we use a language that we are still learning, we are stepping outside our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is where we feel safe, where we use the words and expressions we already know well. But when we speak English as learners, we often feel like we're walking into a big, unknown place. Your brain is working hard to find the right words. It is thinking carefully about pronunciation. It is wondering if the grammar is correct. It is also thinking about what the other person will say and what they might think of you. That is a lot of work for your brain all at once. It's very normal to feel tired or nervous after speaking, even for a short time. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do is to change the way you look at mistakes. Imagine you and I are learning together. When we make a mistake, we can smile, take a breath, and say, "That's okay. I'm learning." The nervousness you feel is also connected to fear of the unknown. Maybe you are scared you won't understand the other person's answer. Maybe you worry you won't be able to say what you mean. That is also very natural. Every learner has these worries. Every learner wonders, what if I freeze? What if I can't remember the right word? But here is some gentle advice. When you feel this fear, remind yourself that you don't need to say everything perfectly. You just need to say something. Even one simple word can keep the conversation going. Even one short sentence is enough. Even a few words together can make a difference. If you can accept that imperfect English is still good English, you will take away some of the pressure you put on yourself. You will feel more relaxed. And when you feel more relaxed, you will naturally speak more easily. Your nervousness is also a sign that you care. It shows that you care about communicating well. That is a good thing. It means you want to improve. It means you value your progress. If you never felt nervous at all, it might mean you weren't really pushing yourself. When you feel nervous before speaking English, I want you to imagine that feeling as a small, helpful friend sitting on your shoulder. That friend is not here to hurt you. It is here to remind you that you are doing something brave and important. Smile at that little friend and say, "Thanks for being here. Let's do this together." And as you practice, you will also discover that nervousness becomes less strong over time. The first time you speak English to a new person, you may feel very nervous. But the 10th time, maybe only a little nervous. The 100th time, maybe you will feel comfortable and even excited. Think of it like swimming in cold water. The first time you jump in, it is very cold. But after a few minutes, your body adjusts. You get used to the feeling. After a few swims, it feels easier and more natural. And this is what happens with language learning too. Every small practice, every short conversation, every sentence you say aloud is like a small swim. The more you do it, the more your mind and body feel comfortable. And do you know what happens when you feel more comfortable? You speak more clearly. You remember more words. You even surprise yourself by using new phrases you practiced yesterday or last week. So, whenever you feel nervous before you speak, remember that this is part of the journey. Let the nervousness remind you that you are brave. Let it remind you that you are learning. Let it remind you that even the most fluent speakers were once in your place, feeling exactly the same. And most of all, remind yourself that your goal is not perfection. Your goal is progress. Progress can be small. Progress can be slow. But as long as you keep going, you will improve. When you look at nervousness this way, as something gentle, something normal, something that will grow smaller, you will feel kinder toward yourself. And that kindness will give you the strength to practice again and again. Sometimes, people also worry that someone will laugh at their mistakes. Maybe someone did laugh at you in the past, or maybe nobody laughed at you, but you still felt shy or embarrassed because you weren't sure of yourself. That memory can stay with you and make you feel scared to speak again. But here is a very important truth. Most people will never judge you for trying. In fact, most people admire someone who is brave enough To practice another language. Even if you don't say everything perfectly, most people appreciate your effort. And if you make a mistake, that's okay too. Mistakes are how we grow. Mistakes are like signposts that show you what to practice next. If you never make mistakes, it means you never challenge yourself. And if you never challenge yourself, it means you never improve. The power of positive mindset. Let's take a moment to talk about your mindset, the way you think and feel about yourself as an English speaker. This is one of the most important parts of becoming more confident. Even if you practice every day and work very hard, your thoughts and beliefs can make a big difference in how you feel and how you speak. Imagine your thoughts like seeds in a garden. Positive thoughts grow into strong, healthy plants. They give you strength, encouragement, and happiness. Negative thoughts, on the other hand, can grow into weeds that take up space and make you feel tired and stuck. When you say to yourself, "I will never be fluent," or "My accent is too strong," or "I'm not good at this," you are planting weeds. These thoughts make you feel small, scared, and shy. They stop you from trying, and they make nervousness even bigger. But when you change those thoughts into kind and hopeful ones, like, "Every practice helps me improve," or "My accent is part of who I am," or "I can do this, one sentence at a time," you are planting seeds of positivity. These thoughts grow into strong, green plants that give you energy and help you feel proud of yourself. That is the power of a positive mindset. It can help you believe in yourself, it can help you feel less scared, and it can help you grow as a speaker. Even on days when learning feels difficult, think about what happens when you make a mistake. Imagine you say a sentence and you mix up the past tense, or you use the wrong word, or you can't remember a word at all. What do? With a negative mindset, you might say, "See, I'm not good at this. I will never speak well." But with a positive mindset, you could say, "That was a good try. Now I know one thing I can practice. Every mistake is teaching me something new." When you do this, you give yourself permission to grow. You remind yourself that mistakes are part of progress. You treat yourself kindly, just like you would treat a good friend who is also learning. And as you do this more and more, something wonderful happens. You begin to trust yourself. You trust that you can speak, even if it's not perfect. You trust that you can say what you want, even if you need to look for words. That trust is like a warm light inside you, and it will make your nervousness softer and smaller. Another helpful part of a positive mindset is patience. Sometimes we want to speak perfectly right away. We want to sound smooth and natural after only a few lessons. But learning a language is not a quick journey. It is a long walk with many gentle steps. Patience is like holding your own hand and telling yourself, "It's okay. Let's go slowly. Let's take one sentence at a time. Let's practice this sound again and again until we feel comfortable." And when you practice with patience, you will feel a sense of calm. Instead of pushing yourself too hard or feeling sad that you don't know everything, you will feel proud that you are moving forward at your own pace. Your attitude toward yourself can also help you enjoy learning. Sometimes we wait to feel proud of ourselves until we reach a very big goal, like having a perfect conversation or understanding a difficult movie without subtitles. But those goals take time, and if you wait too long to feel proud, you might lose your motivation. That is why I encourage you to celebrate every small success. Did you speak one new word today? Be proud. Did you understand one more sentence? Be proud. Did you practice even for 5 minutes? Be proud. When you recognize these small successes, you feel more positive. And when you feel more positive, you speak with a lighter heart. That lighter heart makes it easier to speak up again and again. Your mindset can also be built by repeating gentle, hopeful thoughts. This is called positive self-talk. Every day, or even every time you practice, you can say to yourself, I am learning, and that is enough. Or every practice is helping me grow. Or my voice matters, even when my English is not perfect. Repeat these thoughts slowly, kindly, and often. Let them become a part of you. Over time, they will help you feel more at ease with your English. They will help you believe in yourself. And that belief is one of the most powerful tools you have. And remember, your positive mindset is like a friend that walks with you every day. It reminds you that nervousness is okay. It reminds you that progress is more important than perfection. It reminds you to smile at yourself and say, I can do this. With this mindset, each conversation becomes less scary, each practice becomes more enjoyable, and your confidence grows, naturally, gently, and truly. Practical techniques to speak confidently. Now that we have talked about feelings and thoughts, let's look at some very practical things you can do every day to speak English more confidently. These are gentle, simple techniques that you can use anytime you feel nervous. They will help you feel more prepared and more in control when you speak. Speak slowly and clearly. First, one of the most helpful techniques is to slow down. When we feel nervous, we often speak too fast. Our words come out quickly because we want to get it over with. But when we do that, we can make more mistakes or lose our place. So practice speaking slowly and clearly. Even if you say fewer words, you will feel more confident because you will have time to think. Pausing is okay. Taking a breath before you speak is okay. In fact, it will make your speech clearer. Imagine you are telling a story to a good friend who really wants to listen. You can take your time. You can say one sentence, wait a moment, and then say the next sentence. That is much better than rushing and feeling stressed. Prepare some easy phrases. Another helpful technique is to prepare some simple phrases that you can use in any conversation. When you have a few sentences ready, you will feel safer because you always have something to say. For example, practice phrases like, that's interesting. Can you repeat that, please? Or, let me think for a moment. These simple sentences can give you a few extra seconds to understand or plan your next words. You can also practice short introductions about yourself. Prepare a few sentences about your name, where you live, your work, or your interests. Repeat them often so that they feel comfortable. Then, when you need to introduce yourself in a real conversation, you will feel ready. Focus on one sentence at a time. When we worry about speaking, it's often because we try to plan everything we want to say at once. That can make our minds feel very full. A gentle, practical tip is to focus on one sentence at a time. You don't need to plan your whole speech before you open your mouth. You can say one thought, and then pause. Then you can say the next thought, and pause again. Give yourself this small structure, like putting one brick on top of another. It will make speaking feel much more manageable. And remember, if you forget a word or lose your thought, you can always say, sorry, let me try again, or what I mean is. People will understand, and you will feel calmer, knowing that you can take that small step back and try again. Repeat and practice words aloud. If you want to feel more natural when you speak, it really helps to repeat new words and phrases aloud, many times. Repeating out loud will make your tongue and mouth familiar with the sounds. The more you practice this way, the less you will need to search for those words in a real conversation. Pick a few new words every day, not too many, maybe 2 or 3. Say them aloud slowly. Then practice putting them into short sentences. Speak them again and again until they feel easy and smooth. When you do this regularly, you will build a habit of practice. Even a few minutes every day can make a big difference. And every time you practice a new word or sentence, your nervousness will go down because you will feel more prepared. Practice speaking with yourself. you don't always need a partner to practice your English. Talking to yourself is a wonderful, gentle way to gain confidence. You can do this while you are walking, cooking, or looking in the mirror. Describe what you see. Talk about your day. Pretend you are telling a story to a friend. Say whatever comes to your mind. This private practice is very helpful because there is no pressure. It is just you and your own voice. And when you listen to yourself speak aloud, you become more familiar with the sound of your English voice. That familiarity will make you feel less nervous when you speak with someone else. Listen and shadow. Another gentle practice is to listen to short, simple dialogues and repeat after them. This is called shadowing, and it is very useful. Find a short conversation or a few simple sentences in a video or a podcast. Something that is easy for you to understand. Listen carefully. Then repeat the words just like the speaker, copying their rhythm and pronunciation. Do this slowly at first. If it feels too fast, pause the recording. Say the sentence clearly. Play it again and repeat. Over time, you will become more comfortable with the sounds and patterns of spoken English. Shadowing is also very helpful because it trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. It will give you gentle practice that you can do every day without fear of making mistakes. Make time for daily practice. You have probably heard this before, but practice really is key. Even a few minutes of speaking each day can help you grow your confidence. Set a small, reachable goal for yourself. Maybe practice for 5 minutes every morning, or repeat a short dialogue before you go to bed. When you make practice part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth, you will begin to see real progress. Progress doesn't come overnight, but it does come slowly and surely if you practice gently every day. And remember, this is your practice. You can choose what feels most enjoyable and comfortable for you. Some days you might practice with a video. Other days you might practice talking to yourself. Some days you might simply listen and repeat. Every kind of practice is helpful. Breathe and smile. Finally, one very simple technique is to take a deep breath and smile before you speak. When we are nervous, our breath becomes short and shallow. If you take one slow breath in and one slow breath out, you send a signal to your body that it is okay. Smiling can also help you feel lighter and more positive. And when you feel a little more relaxed, your words will come out more easily. You might even notice that other people smile back at you. That will help you feel good too. Remember that these are gentle techniques you can practice anytime. Speak slowly. Prepare a few simple phrases. Focus on one sentence at a time. Repeat new words often. Talk to yourself. Listen and shadow. Make time for daily practice. And take a deep breath before you begin. Each small practice will add up. Even if you don't feel confident right away, you are moving forward. Every time you practice one of these techniques, you take a gentle, helpful step toward becoming a more confident speaker. And as you do this, I want you to keep telling yourself, I can do this. One word at a time, one practice at a time. Daily habits to improve confidence. Now that you have learned some practical techniques, let's talk about daily habits. Small, regular things you can do every day to grow your confidence over time. When you make gentle practice part of your everyday life, you will notice real progress. And the good news is that habits do not need to be big or difficult. Even a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Make English a natural part of your day. One of the most powerful habits is to make English part of your daily life. This can be very simple. You can listen to a short podcast while you drink your morning coffee, or you can read a few sentences in English before bed. By doing this, you surround yourself with the language in a gentle, easy way. It feels less like work and more like a small ritual in your day. something you do for yourself because it feels good. And remember, you do not have to understand every word. Even just hearing English in the background will help you become more familiar with the sounds, the rhythm, and the natural flow of speech. Speak even when you're alone. You can also create a habit of speaking English, even if nobody is around. Many learners feel nervous to speak in front of other people, and that is okay. Practicing alone is still practice, and very good practice. You can describe what you are doing as you do it. For example, you can say, "I am opening the door," or "I am making a cup of tea." These simple sentences help you practice everyday vocabulary. You can also talk to yourself about your thoughts and feelings in English. It might feel a bit strange at first, but this is a wonderful habit to grow your confidence. When you speak aloud to yourself, you become more comfortable with your own voice and your own pronunciation, and the more you do this, the easier it will feel. Write a little every day. Writing is another gentle habit that can help you speak more confidently. When you write, you have more time to find the right words. This can help you build your vocabulary and practice putting your thoughts into sentences. You can keep a small notebook and write a few sentences every day. Write about your day, your plans, or even a short story. Do not worry too much about grammar or spelling. The most important thing is that you are using English in a way that feels natural and enjoyable. And as you write, you may notice new words that you want to use in conversation. Practice saying these new words aloud a few times. This will help you remember them and feel more comfortable using them when you speak. Listen and repeat as a daily routine. We have already talked about shadowing, repeating after a recording, and this is a perfect habit to do every day. Pick one short video, one short song, or one short dialogue that you like. Listen to it carefully. Then, repeat after it slowly, pausing the recording as needed. You can do this once in the morning and once in the evening. The more often you repeat this habit, the more natural the words will feel. And after a few days, you might even memorize some of the sentences. That will make you feel proud and more sure of yourself. Celebrate every small win. One very important habit is to celebrate every small success you have. Learning a language is like climbing a hill, one small step at a time. Every new word you say, every short conversation you have, every sentence you write, these are all steps up that hill. Sometimes we do not notice our progress because we want to reach the top right away. But when you take time to recognize every small win, you will feel encouraged to keep going. You can even say to yourself, "I practiced for 5 minutes today. That's wonderful." Or, "I remembered a new word in my conversation. That's a success." When you appreciate these small wins, you give yourself a gentle boost of happiness and motivation. And that motivation will help you come back to practice again tomorrow. Be consistent and patient. More than anything, make this your habit. Be consistent and patient with yourself. Some days you will feel strong and confident. Other days you will feel tired or stuck. That is okay. That is part of the journey. What matters most is that you do a little every day, or as often as you can. Consistency is what will help you grow. Even 5 or 10 minutes of practice, repeated often, will help you more than one long, stressful practice every few months. And patience is also very important. Give yourself time to grow. Trust that these habits will work, even if you cannot see all the progress right away.
When you look back after a few months, you will notice that you have learned new words, your pronunciation is clearer, and you feel a little more comfortable every time you speak. That is the power of gentle, daily habits. End. Every day with a positive thought. Before you go to bed at night, I encourage you to end your day with a kind thought about your English learning. Maybe you can say, "I did my best today," or "Tomorrow is a new chance to practice," or simply, "I am proud of myself." When you make this small habit part of your day, you create a positive feeling that stays with you. That feeling will make it easier to practice again tomorrow, and to believe in yourself every step of the way. By bringing English into your daily life, practicing a little each day, celebrating small wins, and being patient and kind with yourself, you will slowly build real, lasting confidence.
And remember, you do not need to do everything at once. Choose one habit that feels good and easy, and begin with that. Maybe you will listen to a song today. Maybe you will write one sentence. Maybe you will talk to yourself for 1 minute. That is enough. And when you do that small thing again tomorrow, and the next day after that, you will see how much stronger and more confident you feel. One gentle habit at a time. Overcoming fear of mistakes. Now let's talk about one of the biggest challenges that every English learner faces: the fear of making mistakes. Maybe this is something you think about a lot. Maybe you worry that if you say the wrong word, or if your grammar isn't perfect, people will think less of you. Maybe you feel embarrassed or scared to speak because of this. First, I want you to know that this fear is completely normal. Everyone who learns a new language feels it. Even native speakers sometimes make mistakes when they speak quickly or when they are tired. Making mistakes is not a problem. It is part of being human. When you make a mistake, it means you are trying. It means you are practicing. It means you are learning. Think of mistakes as helpful signs, like a teacher showing you what to focus on next. Every mistake is an opportunity to grow and improve. Imagine if you never made mistakes. It would mean you were not pushing yourself to learn new things. Mistakes show that you are brave enough to try, and that bravery is very important. When you speak English and you notice you made a mistake, try to smile gently and say to yourself, "That's okay, I'm learning." Don't be hard on yourself. Treat yourself with kindness, just like you would treat a friend who is trying their best. Another helpful idea is to remember that people usually don't notice most mistakes. When you speak slowly and clearly, people focus on what you mean, not on small errors. Most people appreciate your effort and your willingness to communicate. Sometimes, learners feel embarrassed to speak because they imagine people laughing or judging them. But this is often just our own worry talking. Most people are kind and want to help you succeed. If someone corrects you, think of it as a gift. They want to help you get better. One way to become less afraid of mistakes is to practice speaking in safe places. This could be with a supportive friend, a teacher, or even by talking to yourself at home. When you make mistakes in a safe space, you feel less pressure. You learn that mistakes are normal and nothing to fear. You can also practice saying, "I'm still learning English. Please be patient with me." This simple phrase can help you feel more comfortable in conversations because it reminds both you and the other person that you are in a learning process. Remember, nobody expects you to be perfect. Even fluent speakers make mistakes sometimes. The important thing is that you keep trying. If you do feel nervous before speaking and your mind worries about making mistakes, try to take a few slow breaths. Remind yourself gently, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes help me learn. The more you say this to yourself, the more your fear will become smaller and smaller. It's like a little cloud that slowly moves away on a windy day. Mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it. When you accept mistakes, you open the door to confidence. Confidence grows when you feel safe to try, even if you do not get everything right the first time. Sometimes, learners feel like they must speak perfectly before they can speak at all. But that is not true. You can start by speaking simply and slowly. You can start with short sentences and easy words. As you practice, your confidence will grow, and your mistakes will become fewer. Another tip is to focus on communicating your ideas, not on speaking perfectly. If the other person understands your meaning, that is a big success. You do not need to worry about every small mistake. When you focus on connection and communication, you will feel more relaxed. And when you feel relaxed, You will speak more naturally. So the next time you make a mistake, try to see it as a stepping stone on your path. Each step moves you closer to your goal. Each mistake helps you learn and become stronger. You are brave for trying. You are brave for learning. And that bravery is the most important part of speaking English confidently. Gentle exercises for daily practice. Now, let's explore some gentle exercises you can do every day to build your speaking confidence. These exercises are simple and friendly, perfect for beginners and intermediate learners. You can do them alone, at home, without pressure. The goal is to create a safe space where you feel comfortable practicing English. Talking to yourself in English. One of the easiest exercises is to talk to yourself in English. Yes, really. You can do this while you are doing other things, like cooking, walking, or cleaning. Describe what you see and what you are doing. For example, say, "I am washing the dishes," or "I see a blue sky today." This exercise helps your brain get used to forming sentences in English without fear. It also helps your mouth practice the sounds of English. And because you are talking to yourself, there is no pressure to be perfect. Try to make your sentences short and clear. You don't need to say long stories, just simple sentences that feel natural. This exercise might feel a little funny at first, but it can help a lot. Practice speaking in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and speak slowly. Smile if you want. When you do this, you get used to hearing your own voice. You also practice your facial expressions and body language. This makes you feel more comfortable when speaking to other people. Try to speak as naturally as possible. Pretend you are having a friendly chat with yourself. Recording your voice. If you feel ready, try recording your voice with your phone or computer. Speak a few sentences or read a short paragraph aloud. Then listen to the recording. This exercise helps you hear how you sound. At first, it might feel strange, but over time, you will notice your improvement. You can also find words or sounds to practice more. Remember, you are listening kindly to yourself, not judging. Short storytelling. Try telling a short story in English, even if it is very simple. It can be about your day, your family, or something you like. You don't need many words. Just tell what you can. For example, you can say, "Today I went to the park. The weather was nice. I saw birds and flowers." This exercise helps you practice putting sentences together. It also helps you feel proud of your speaking. Practicing questions and answers. Think about questions you might hear in daily life, like, "What is your name?" or "Where do you live?" Practice answering these questions out loud. You can also practice asking questions yourself, like, "How are you?" or "What do you like to do?" Practicing questions and answers prepares you for real conversations and makes speaking feel less scary. The key to all these exercises is to be gentle with yourself. There is no need to rush or be perfect. The goal is to practice regularly, even if only for a few minutes. Try to make these exercises a fun and relaxed part of your day. Smile, take your time, and enjoy the feeling of learning and growing. Remember, confidence grows with kindness and practice. Every small exercise helps you build that confidence little by little. Role-playing simple dialogues. Another helpful exercise is role-playing. This means practicing common conversations by pretending you are talking to someone else. You can do this alone or with a friend. For example, practice a simple greeting. "Hello, how are you?" And then imagine the other person's answer. Then practice your reply. This helps you prepare for real conversations, so you feel more ready when the time comes. You can use dialogues from books, videos, or create your own. The important part is to practice the flow of conversation, listening and speaking back, repeating easy sentences, Choose a few easy sentences that you like. Repeat them slowly and clearly several times a day. This repetition helps you memorize useful phrases. It also improves your pronunciation. You can say, "I like coffee," or "Today is a beautiful day," or "Can you help me, please?" These simple sentences will build your confidence because you know them well. Using a mirror. This exercise might feel a little funny at first, but it can help a lot. Practice speaking in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and speak slowly. Smile if you want. When you do this, you get used to hearing your own voice. You also practice your facial expressions and body language. This makes you feel more comfortable when speaking to other people. Try to speak as naturally as possible. Pretend you are having a friendly chat with yourself. Recording your voice. If you feel ready, try recording your voice with your phone or computer. Speak a few sentences or read a short paragraph aloud. Then listen to the recording. This exercise helps you hear how you sound. At first, it might feel strange, but over time, you will notice your improvement. You can also find words or sounds to practice more. Remember, you are listening kindly to yourself, not judging. Short storytelling, try to make these exercises a fun and relaxed part of your day. Smile, take your time, and enjoy the feeling of learning and growing. Remember, confidence grows with kindness and practice. Every small exercise helps you build that confidence little by little. Try telling a short story in English, even if it is very simple. It can be about your day, your family, or something you like. You don't need many words. Just tell what you can. For example, you can say, "Today I went to the park. The weather was nice. I saw birds and flowers." This exercise helps you practice putting sentences together. It also helps you feel proud of your speaking. Practicing questions and answers. Think about questions you might hear in daily life, like "What is your name?" or "Where do you live?" Practice answering these questions out loud. You can also practice asking questions yourself, like "How are you?" or "What do you like to do?" Practicing questions and answers prepares you for real conversations and makes speaking feel less scary. The key to all these exercises is to be gentle with yourself. There is no need to rush or be perfect. The goal is to practice regularly, even if only for a few minutes. We have come to the end of this video, my dear friend. I hope you feel calm and encouraged after everything we have talked about. Remember, speaking English confidently, even when you feel nervous, is something you can learn. It is a skill that grows little by little, with kindness, practice, and patience. Let's quickly review what we've learned together. First, it is perfectly normal to feel nervous. Everyone feels that way sometimes. And it shows that you care and want to do your best. You are not alone in this feeling. We also talked about how your mindset matters a lot. Being kind and positive to yourself can make a big difference. When you think gentle, hopeful thoughts, your confidence grows from inside. You can be your own best friend and cheerleader as you learn. Then we explored simple techniques that you can use right now. Speaking slowly, preparing easy phrases, focusing on one sentence at a time, repeating words aloud, and even talking to yourself. These small steps help you feel more ready and less afraid. We also discussed daily habits, like listening to English a little every day, writing small sentences, and celebrating your progress. These habits are powerful because they make English a natural part of your life. And most importantly, we learned that mistakes are not something to fear. They are part of learning and a sign that you are brave enough to try. When you accept mistakes with kindness, you open the door to real confidence. Finally, I shared gentle exercises you can do at home to practice without pressure. Talking to yourself, role-playing, repeating sentences, using a mirror, recording your voice, and telling short stories. These exercises create a safe space where your English can grow freely. My dear friend, I want you to remember one last thing. Confidence is not about being perfect. It is about being willing to try again and again. It is about loving your progress, no matter how small. You don't have to speak perfectly to be understood. Your words matter, your voice matters, and you matter. Every time you practice, you are one step closer to speaking English with calm and confidence. So please, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and practice a little every day. Even 5 minutes of speaking, listening, or reading will help you more than you think. I believe in you. I know you can do this. And I am so proud of you for choosing to learn and grow. Keep going, my friend. Speak with your heart. Speak with courage. And know that each step you take is a beautiful step forward. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope to see you again soon in another video. Until then, take care and keep practicing your English every day. You can do this. Let's do this together.